Hello my friends, welcome back to Melanie Smith Stamps. In today's video we are looking at the new Kyoto in Spring collection by Alex Syberia Designs for Spellbinders Paper Arts. This is such a well-rounded collection that I have spent a little extra time on it and just played. I am having so much fun with this collection. I've already shared one of my cards on social media on release day, this card here that I created. And here's just an up close look at it. I've added, I don't know if you could see in the pictures, but I've added little tiny crystals to that 3D embossing folder in the back on all the little tiny centers of the flowers. This embossing folder is so delicate and feminine. It just is really, really lovely. And these cherry blossoms are a BetterPress plate, and this doll also is a BetterPress plate, and it makes 3 different dolls. And I cannot express to you how much this has been so just delightful to play with. Now, we are going to be making a different card today, and then I have 3 other samples to share with you at the end. So I'm just going to jump in and just quickly show you the product. This is the actual doll die set, and it makes these 2 adorable girls. You'll see both of them in my samples, and we're going to build one of them today in the video. Then this is the fan and bow. This is also a die set, and here I'll show you the back of both of these so you can get an idea of the size of the dies. But this one here builds 2 different style girls. We have some fans for them to hold and little flowers to decorate each of their outfits. And then this one big fan, you can make 2 different style fans out of them because there's 2 different style fan blades. So it's really easy to put together. So those you will see samples of in my cards. This set here is the BetterPress plate that I made this one out of here. And you have 3 separate dolls, so you can do them individually, or you can put them all on a plate at one time. And you have dies to cut each of them out, which I love. Then you have happy birthday, hello, and you are amazing for die sentiments. Those are dies that you can cut out. And here I use that right here for the hello. So that is the dolls for the BetterPress. And then this is the cherry blossoms that I used here as well. And this is all watercolored is what I used for the coloring here. So this one here is cherry blossoms. And if you're wanting to look all these up, I will have the links down below to make it easier for you. This is the Blossoms and Sentiments set. And these are really pretty blossoms. They're very delicate lined when you either press or foil them. I have them foiled in my design, so you'll see how thin the line is. But I have the sentiments also to show you in my design. This is the one we're using today. We are going to actually press and stencil this one. This is the paracels. Now this is pretty either on its own or stenciled. Remember, you can foil this. All of these BetterPress you can foil. So think of this done in like a gold and then colored, or gold just by itself. Same with this. If you want a plain background, like just a delicate background, just do this in gold or a brushed gold. That would be a very calmer background. Whereas today, we're going to go a little bright for our background. So you can have it either way. Don't get scared off because I go bright today. This can be very subtle as well. So it just depends on your style. But this is the paracels, and it does come with, if you buy the bundle, it has a matching stencil. You can also buy this by itself, but you cannot buy the stencil by itself. And then last but not least, the embossing folder I showed you here, which is called Floral Fans. All of those will be linked down below. Like I said, those are my affiliate links. And if you're purchasing today anything from Spellbinders anytime, those links do help my channel. So thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to get everything out for the actual stenciling, and then we will get started. And we are going to just jump right in here and do a background with this gorgeous Paracel press plate for our background. This comes with a stencil if you buy the bundle. If you do not buy the bundle though, it cannot be bought separately. So you want to make sure that you do indeed purchase the bundle. I'm going to get a piece of BetterPress paper here. This is the bisque paper, and I'm going to attach this here on our BetterPress plate with some satin purple tape from Altenew. And I'm going to hook it to the background of the plate on the back so that we can get a full coverage printing on the front of the paper. Just want to try to get this as smooth as possible. Just get this as smooth as possible so that there is no bubbles in your tape in the background, and that will stop it from interfering with your print on the front side if this is really smooth. So just burnish that down really good. Okay, so now we will ink up the press plate. I'm going to use the BetterPress ink in black. I love the big ink pads for backgrounds. Okay, the other lines are very fine on the plate. I'm going to put this through my Platinum 6 off here to the left. Look at that beautiful print. Isn't that gorgeous? Now we can color. Alrighty, I've got us up set for coloring. This stencil set is a 6-piece stencil set. There's 2 layers for 3 different sections. So each layer is going to take 2 colors. So we're going to do yellow, lavender, and teal, which is an unusual color combination. And the way I chose it is with the color wheel. The color wheel here, I chose the blue greens for Volcano Lake and Emerald. And then I went to the triad, which is yellows and red violets. So that is how I chose. I went through the outside triangle here, which is the triad. So we will see what it looks like. I thought it would be interesting to try one from the color wheel. So here we go. So let's put this down here and line it up. And we will press this down into our mat. Just take your time. Make sure you have it lined up correctly, as good as you can. Remember, this is just paper. Push it down really good into your Altenew sticky mat. Best tool in the world, in my humble opinion. I've got the larger size here, but you can get these in 12 by 12 also. I like the large size because I can put my little inks on either side. It holds my ink pad, my paper, and my stencil. Okay, so we'll put a little dusting of yellow on all of these. This is just our undercoat. our light color. And then the neat thing about the stencil is that the second layer is going to come in and color the inside of it. So you're not really blending on this one. You're just doing as the stencil tells you to do, which I think is kind of cool. It's going to actually do a two-tone effect for you. You could actually use one ink color if you wanted to. And just when you do the second layer, it would darken it. But I'm going for a little more drastic of a color change. So we're going to go and bump up the color in the second one. Okay. So now we will lift that one and we will go to the next one, which is going to be the inside. Let's see here. How are they going to do this? Gotcha. Okay, it looks like it lines up with the top. The top of the crescent, the top here, then it can be here, then there, there, and there. I was thinking it was user error. Okay, we're gonna go deeper this time. Okay. But you know what? When you're playing with your toys, whatever you end up making is going to be beautiful because you made it, right? So don't fret, my friend. We will make it work. I think it's very daring that we're doing this in this crazy color scheme. That alone is a win. Let's see. Okay, I noticed this is not quite lined up there. I'm going to trim that, and I'll trim that when we trim down. And then I think we'll be okay. So there's our first layer, and we'll see. So on this one, how about we do the purple? We got Lavender Fields in Midnight Violet. Change my blender brush. Go in here like this. This is our lighter. This one here is a brand new ink pad, much easier to blend. I just picked this one up with my last order. Big difference than that buttercream. That buttercream I've had a lot longer and I've used it a lot. That is my go-to yellow. See how much easier that is? Oh yeah. Okay, a little bit more right there. Let's pick that up. Now these two colors I use together a lot. The purple and the yellow, for sure. Okay, then we'll go to the Midnight Violet. And let's see how this one lines up. Let's see. Okay. Just make sure everything doesn't have any white. All right, we're good. I'm using the same blender brush because I'm going darker. I always use the same blender brush per family, color family. But when I go dark to light, I just rub it off on a microfiber cloth and I go back to the same brush. Easy peasy. Look how juicy that one was, right? Ooh, that one's dramatic. Oh. So that one is Midnight Violet. And I better wipe this a little bit up right here or I'm going to end up rubbing it into the yellow by accident. So then we will go to the Volcano Lake for this last pop of color. The puzzle is coming together, so that means we're going to get to see what it looks like, right? Okay. I purposely did these pretty drastic. I skipped a color in the center just so we would have a big difference. So if you're wondering why it's such a big difference, that's why. I wanted it to really be dramatic. It's looking like I'm getting what I wanted, huh? I don't think I've ever used this color combination. I just wanted to go out on a limb. Do something different with y'all. Okay. Here's number one. Ooh, look at that. That's actually pretty. Okay, let's get this one on here. See where it's gonna line up. Oops. Okay. To get that out of my way so I can line this up better. Don't want any of that yellow in my field of coloring. That would not be nice. Looks good. All right, here we go. Last color. Okay, see if our risk paid off. Wow. Wow. That is so cool. Seriously, that is so cool. Okay, there's one thing I see that I want to fix. You take this, you see this little part right there? I'm going to take this up just a little bit. You can fix these little tiny mistakes. And it's just a little difference of the stencil placement. And then people won't realize you did it. Do that. Let's see if there's any more. No, that was it. See? I fixed that simple little thing. And now, look at there. Like I said, this top edge isn't inked, and there's a little bit here that isn't inked. But everything else is inked, and I can trim those two sides, mat this, and put our little doll on it, and it will be all done. So let's move on. Okay, guys, now we are on to the building. So this is relatively easy. We'll just start with her head and move on down. So for her hair here, we have this little headband or band that goes around her bun that's on the top of her hair. So I'm going to place that right around the bun. I've done it in a gold metallic foil card. So we're going to accent her in gold foil. Then you have her two picks here. And on these, I'm just going to hook them to the back of her hair here. So we'll just pick them in, put them right in her hair here, going in two different directions, like so. Come back here, little guy. Like that. Maybe make one shorter than the other so they look a little organic. I'm just going to put a little extra glue here and just leave that upside down for right this second. Then for the face, Spellbinders has made us these two unusual shape dies here. And one of them is cut from black to cover up the eyes on the back. This is such an ingenious idea that they do. So this piece here just goes straight across the back like so. And then you can make the lips whatever color you want. You could go with dark red or dark pink and place that piece right there. And that way her face is super easy to do. Then on this one, you're going to simply add her hair about halfway down her forehead. And there's actually a little dot right there that the die leaves, and I just go to where I cover that up. Now I wanted to show you the other head because it's a little different. With the other head, you have different little dies here, and I've actually covered them up with little gems, but it's a two-piece die that goes on there, but that's not really the part I want to show you. It's this slit here. There's a little slit in the die, and it looks like you'd want to put a piece of paper over this part and then put it on like this, like she's missing her bangs, but really it just slides in like this, and then it shows her little curls at the bottom like that. So that's all you have to do there. Just go ahead and put some glue above that circle, that little dot that the die leaves you, and then slide that in there and move it to where the dot is covered up, and then press down. It makes it really easy for you. And then your second face is done. So that gives you your two different faces. So I just wanted to show you that one off the side of the screen so that you would see how the other one is done as well. So then on her neckline, you cut this big triangle piece in the color of her skin tone. And then you add the layers of her outfit. This is called a kimono. And so I'm going to do 2 layers, different colors. So this first layer, and actually you want to do this one first. This die has a little blank area at the bottom of it. It has the ribs, and then it has this blank area here. So that one's going to go down first. And then this one is going to cover up that blank area. It's actually going to crisscross at the bottom, just as if it was folded upon each other. I'll show it to you as soon as it sets there. Just make sure it's all in place. See how it's smartly done, because it looks like it's really crossing. And you know, these wrap around them. And this other inner layer does the exact same thing. So you just lay one down. That one's shorter, it looks like. And then lay the other one down. And they are a little bit curved, so they go one way or the other, like so. And then you've got her skin tone in the background, the white layer. Well, you can make it whatever color you want, but the white layer and the teal layer. And then this has indentions in the die itself, and it shows you exactly where this is going to glue. So you just put some glue on there, and this is going to slide right in place, right where that triangle tells you to put it. and it is just like a puzzle. It just puts right down there. Now you see there's another area right here. That's where your waistband is going to go. It fits right in there. So you can put that one on next. These are just made so well that it really is easy to build them. It's a joy to build them. So now we'll be able to hook our head here later. I'm going to use some foam, so I'm not going to put it on yet. But now we decorate the sleeves. Same thing. There's a ridge there that shows you where it's going. So we'll just sit that one down on that. Fit that one in the puzzle. And it fits in there perfectly. Same here. Okay, now these are going to cover up a lot of her outfit, so you want to see where these are going to sit first. See how much of this outfit these are going to cover up? So you want to put the flowers on these first, okay? So for the flowers, you've got different options. You've got a couple size flowers like these, and then you've got the larger white flowers. So there is another size flower that's a little bigger than this one as well in the set. But I'm going to go ahead and layer the purple. Remember we have purple. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Remember we have purple and yellow and green over here, or teal. So I'm playing the knot on the yellow for the gold, and then the purple and the teal in her clothes. So I'm going to go ahead and just start layering the purple on the white in the centers. So we'll go ahead and just do that on all the white ones. I've got 2 halves and 2 wholes. In other words, 2 half of white flowers, 2 whole white flowers. And these little ones come in halves and whole sizes too, to coordinate. So get those all on there. Line them up. There we go. Sometimes it's just easier to do it with your fingers. Okay. There we go. All right, then I looked at the packaging for the placement, and they kind of had where it had one on the side of the sleeve here. Kind of fits and snugs right up there to where it looks like it's going around the sleeve. That's why it's a half. It really looks real too. Really smart the way it's done like that. And then the whole one comes kind of over here and fills this area. Okay. And then the other areas on the dress or on the sleeves are filled in by either the gold or the purple. Then down at the bottom, we're going to have a half that's down, whoops, that's down here, kind of offset from that one. Right there. Then we can put one somewhere floating around here somewhere. We'll sit it up a little bit. Don't want it to be even. So then let's go ahead and put our sleeves on so we can see where we want all our little flowers now. So the sleeves are going to curve and going to match up to the edge along here. So just make sure the curve continues. There we go. And I didn't glue that all the way down there. That way we can add a fan in her hand, which we'll make here in just a minute. Now we have these 6 little flowers that we can just kind of sporadically lay down. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of add some dots where I know we need them. And we'll just see where we go from here. I know for sure we need them there. So let's add a gold, and maybe a gold. And then we'll fill in with a purple. Let's see where I might want another purple. Maybe put one up here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we'll just do 5. Whoops. Okay, let's see how we like that. I think that looks good. Okay, and let's see, for her fan, we can either go white and gold or gold and white. I think I like the gold on the outside. So let's do that. I think the gold will show more. Then we'll go ahead and put a little there, and we'll put a little there. And we'll go ahead and put that right under her hand. Press down. Oops, our little purple flower slid up there on her belt. There we go. Perfect. Put that fan there in her hand. Maybe bring it down just a little. Really pretty. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? We actually could put that other purple one right here, maybe. There we go. Okay. Now let's bring this over here. We'll go ahead and put her down. Doesn't that match nicely? And then maybe add a little tilt to that. Kind of like that. Let's pop her up though on some foam. Might put one there where the pins are too, just to hold that down a little secure, where we had added that glue. We'll tilt her head just a little bit. Okay, I think that's so cute. Then I'm going to put a couple of these pink fresh gems. Get some here. Let's see what size I want. I think I need some medium ones. Here's the little ones. I don't want super little. Let's see what this. Yeah. So we'll do some glue there. And we'll do some glue there. And we'll get another one. There we go. Look at there. Isn't that precious? And let me grab my other samples. Now this one, we had to put the head on her because we just did her head, but I have to put her head on her. So let's go ahead and put some 3D on her so we can finish her up, because I had to show you what putting her head on would look like. The different style of head that we did. And then this one has something special about it I'm going to share with you. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about the Spellbinders color decks, but I got my inspiration partially from that. Okay, so how about we tilt her head this way because the sentiment's over here. Super cute. Okay, so for this one, I got my mojo from this here, which is a Color Decks card. Now, if you're not familiar with the Color Decks, this is the DIY Color Decks from Spellbinders. And in here, you get to get 52 color cards, which is like a deck of 52 cards. And they all come in this drawer. But the difference in this from other color items that you can get on the market is that you create your own color swatch from the photo. So each of these photos have more than 5 colors in them for the most part, but you get to pick what colors you want to work with. So in this one here, there were other colors in here than the ones I chose, but I chose the hues and the colors that I wanted to work with. I kind of went off a little tiny bit, but like this is kind of a brown, but I chose kind of a gold. This here is not really burgundy, but in my mind it looked like burgundy, so I went with a dark, red, darker red. Like these shadows here would be a darker red, kind of a dark red in here, which is similar to that. But the red here is really similar. The peachy color is in these flowers. And then, of course, the black background. So I did that for this sample. Whoops, out of frame. That for this sample here. And I just love the way she turned out. She's got the embossing folder. I've pulled in one of the, I'm trying to think of what the name of this is. It's S5641. Emerald Cut Labels and Tags is what this one is. And then this background, you're going to see in a minute also in another card. It's the new script. I believe it's from Linda or Lisa Horton. That's what I've used there. It's in the new release as well. So that's that one. Then I made this one using the fan, the other piece of that BetterPress script background. I just love it. I used the foil and foiled the BetterPress plate. Love it. Some more of the emerald and made her out of purple and black. I just love that. So then you've already seen this one. And then last but not least is my challenge card for the month. If you're a member of my Facebook group, Craft Life Together with Spellbinders and More, you're aware that I have a monthly challenge. It's a 3-way challenge. And this month, this is the card sketch. These are the card colors. And you can enter by using the sketch, using the colors, or using both. So you have 3 options to enter the challenge. And this is my challenge card for this month. So if you'd like more information on that, I will leave the link for the group down below, along with the supply list from today's cards. And you can gather any of that information down below. I would love to know which of these cards is your favorite. And I would also love to say congratulations to Alex Syberia for her first collection with Spellbinders. This is an amazing, amazing collection. I could totally make more. And if time was not an option, I would totally be making more. These are so much fun, and I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. So I will be putting these out on social media so you can see them even closer. And yeah, pop me a note down below and let me know which card is your favorite. I will see you in the next video, my friends. Bye-bye for now.